I think today, out of all the days, was probably the most moving day for me, where you really see the impact of RBC and what we do. When we walked up to the school, and we had been told like it was going to be something special, but we walked up and the whole community, the mamas, the babas, all the kids had come out and they were all singing to us, and they were all dancing. And we walked along, and there was just such joy in their face and such happiness in their face. And they grabbed us right away, and they wanted to dance with us, and they wanted to just involve us in the community. And what really stood out for me was this young boy who grabbed my hand. And he's probably about the same age as my son. He's about 7 years old. Grabbed my hands, and he just wanted to dance. And we just danced, and we laughed. We don't speak the same language, but we just made this bond right away, just in the moment. We couldn't stop dancing, and we started jumping, we started laughing and making silly faces at each other, and it was just such an incredible moment of connection and just pure joy and pure happiness. And so then we all sat down and we had this presentation, and they talked to us about how happy they were. They greeted us, they welcomed us with a song, and this little boy was sitting over on the side with all his classmates, and he kept looking at me, and I kept looking back at him. And we would make silly faces, and we would smile. And you just knew like there was just some kind of really cool bond that was going on. And they talked about the school, and what they talked about the school. And as a parent, you want to be able to do everything you want for your kid. You want to be able to give them an education, you want them to be healthy, you want to give them the world. And so we're at this school, and all these kids go to this school. And before RBC and we Charity got involved, the kids would go to the school, but every morning they would have to walk multiple kilometers to get water for the school. That was their first chore. So it was taking away time from their education, from their classes, to get water. What they didn't know was that this water was unhealthy water, full of diseases. It was making them unhealthy. So you're sending your kid to school to give them an education, and at the same time you're making them ill. So RBC and Blue Water and Free the Children got involved, and they made, for these 900 students, the largest well in the community, so that these kids would have fresh water and clean water, and that they didn't have to go and fetch water for multiple kilometers every day. They could focus on their studies, focus on their academics, and focus on meeting kids. And it was pretty emotional. It was a pretty emotional day.
Well, incredible story, Ian, and you've had this connection with a few of the young lads there, and so they're interested in knowing more about you. Like it's not just about a new face and seeing someone new, but they want to see you, they want to feel you, and they want to touch you. Can you share a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So after they did all the formal speeches and all the presentations, they were walking everyone around and showing us around the school. And right away, as soon as I got up, the little boy ran over to me, and a whole bunch of his friends came over as well, and grabbed my hand, and they all grabbed my hand, and they wanted to again connect. And it was cute because they were fascinated. They wanted to touch like the hair on my arm and understand what that is, and they were touching my tattoo, lifting up my sleeve to see what the tattoo was, and then they started playing with my watch, and they were pressing all the buttons of my watch, and they were high-fiving me, and we started playing games, and we started playing clapping games. They started climbing on me. They wanted me to like lift them up into the air. They wanted hugs, and again, like we couldn't speak the same language, but what we started calling each other was Rafiki, which was for friend. And so we all became Rafiki, and we all became friends, and we all started making silly faces, and I'd go like this, and then they'd all go. And so it was a way to speak and a way to connect, and a way to connect it, without having that common language. And just, they wanted to know my name and Ian, and they were telling me all their names, and there was, so many of them, but that was how we could connect. And the one part was we were trying to ask each other what ages we are. And they had no idea how to say 7 or 8 or 9, and I had no idea how to say my age. So we just kind of gave that one up. But we just all just played and had fun. And it was interesting because I missed in the rest of the presentation. I can't tell you what else happened because I just needed to play with those kids. I hadn't seen my kids for a week, so I got this joy and this amazing energy from being with these kids, and you could just see the joy and energy they got. You know, when you would have one in this arm and one in this arm, and you're lifting them up like two little weights and like almost like swings, and then another one jumped on my back, and you're giving them piggybacks, and you know, then they jump in your arms and they're hugging you, and then we started. I haven't taken like tons of selfies. I'm not a selfie guy, but I'm like, I need to take a selfie. So I threw up my camera, and we took it, and you could see them all, and they just were all like sticking their tongue out and just seeing themselves in the selfie, and then they wanted to take pictures with the camera. So I was giving them my camera, and they were shooting pictures with it and shooting pictures of each other and just being kids, right? And I think that comes down to it is, you know, these are kids, and these are kids who live in this beautiful community, in this wonderful community, and they're so happy, and they don't know what they don't, you know, experience. It's just, it's their truth. This is their truth. This is their community, and it's a beautiful community. And it really, really was a touching day.
Wow, what a story, and just absolutely incredible. The joy on your face, the love in your heart, and I know Kenyans think of you as Rafiki as well.
I have all my Rafikis at that school, and I will be thanking them. I will honestly remember so many of them, and I want to know where they went and what they achieved and where they went. And honestly, I will remember these kids for the rest of my life. And if you ever wonder why we do what we do, and why RBC has Blue Water Day, and why they sponsor We and We Charity, you just have to think back and remember these kids, and that's how I'll look at it. I will always remember these kids, and I will look at Blue Water and, you know, We Day in a completely different way.